Dear viewers, welcome to EPG Pathshala. I am Pooja Kumari from Department of Zoology, University of Delhi. Today we will talk about cloning, which is a method for gene identification. After today's lecture, you shall be able to study about or learn about basic concepts of cloning, cloning vectors and their desirable properties, restriction enzymes, types of cloning, application of cloning in medicine as well as agriculture, pharmaceuticals, etc. And at the end, we will summarize the lecture. First of all, let's talk about cloning. The term cloning in recombinant technology refers to the production of clones or genetically identical organisms. In natural cloning, the asexual reproduction methods are used by bacteria, fungi, plants to produce genetically identical offspring. A number of organisms like fungi, algae, protozoans and plants produce clones naturally through asexual reproduction that are genetically identical to the parent organisms. Using process like binary fission, budding, fragmentation and parthenogenesis, organisms can produce genetically identical offspring. Formation of identical twins in case of humans is also natural cloning. Let's talk about types of cloning. Different types of cloning, which can be molecular cloning, that is DNA cloning or gene cloning. This is molecular cloning involves the production of large quantities of copies of genes or DNA fragments. Molecular cloning involves the construction of recombinant DNA by insertion of gene of interest in vector DNA. Several copies of this constructed recombinant DNA are produced after it is introduced into host cell and replicates as the host cells proliferate. Finally, either the gene or expressed protein is extracted, purified and sequenced. Commonly, these vectors belong to bacteria, yeast, viruses or plasmids. What is reproductive cloning? Reproductive cloning is used for animal cloning. In reproductive cloning, it involves a mature somatic cell which is taken out from the animals that has to be cloned. After this, the somatic cell DNA is transferred into an enucleated egg cell produced by removing the nucleus. The cell division in the reconstructed egg is stimulated using electric current. After few cell divisions, the reconstructed egg develops into an embryo. The embryo is then implanted into the womb of a healthy adult female, where it develops until birth. The genetic makeup of this young animal is similar to the somatic cell donor animal and is therefore known to be clone of the donor animal. Dolly, the clone sheep, was also created using reproductive cloning by Ian Wilmot in 1996. There are enormous potential benefits of these cloning methods in medicinal and agricultural fields. Therapeutic cloning or embryo cloning. Therapeutic cloning essentially has the same process as reproductive cloning, however, with distinct outcomes and objectives. The objective of therapeutic cloning is to learn and understand human development and cure diseases by production and use of stem cells. Stem cells can be used for the production of different types of specialized cells in the human body. Embryonic stem cells can be extracted out and used to produce specialized cells. Ethical concerns have been raised as extraction of stem cells cause the embryo destruction, but owing to the potential and crucial role of these stem cells in treating different diseases and also in replacing damaged cells to cure injuries, scientists and researchers find extreme hope in therapeutic cloning or embryo cloning. Now, how we will clone? Let's talk about some cloning vectors. One of the most requirement for cloning is a vector. A cloning vector is a self-replicating small piece of DNA of plasmid, virus, yeast or cell of higher organism into which gene of interest can be cloned and expressed. The vector and the foreign DNA inserts are cleaved to produce the staggered cut generating similar ends. Using DNA ligases, these are then spliced together. This recombinant molecule is then introduced into host cell by transformation or transfection. Since the vector have origin of replication recognizable by host cell, manifold multiple copies for the foreign DNA can be produced. Most commonly used cloning vectors can be like plasmids, bacteriophages, bacterial artificial chromosomes also called BAC, yeast artificial chromosomes also called YAC, mammalian artificial chromosomes like MAC. So first of all, let's talk about plasmids. Plasmids are stably inherited extra-chromosomal, autonomously replicating, double-stranded and covalently linked circular DNA molecules. These are commonly found in bacteria and also archaea and eukaryotes. An ideal cloning vector should have the following three properties. First one is low molecular weight. This aids in easy handling and isolation due to resistance to shearing. Also, lower molecular weight vectors are present in multiple copies. Transfer efficiency of low molecular weight vector is quite high. Next is origin of replication. The vector should have a compatible origin of replication with the host. It is important to have a multiple copies of a vector inside the host. And last is selection markers. These markers helps in selection process of the chimeric molecules over self-annealed plasmid molecules like antibiotic resistance. Multiple cloning sites, polylinker, presence of MCS or polylinkers which contains many unique restriction sites on vector is important requirement, as for cloning both the vector and gene of interest has to be digested with the same restriction enzymes and then are ligated using DNA ligase molecule. Plasmid carrying their own origin of replication and therefore can be maintained stably in host cells. These plasmids can be introduced in host cell by transformation process. The typical approach is to use a plasmid that carries a gene that is required for the growth of host cell under particular conditions like antibiotic resistant gene. Under these conditions, only the transformed host cells carrying the recombinant molecule are able to grow in the presence of that antibiotic. Such genes aids in the selection of cells containing the recombinant plasmid are known as marker selection genes. A DNA fragment which is insert capacity of these plasmid vectors is up to 15,000 base pairs. PBR 322 and its derivative of like PUG18 or 19 are most commonly used plasmid vectors in cloning. Second cloning vector is bacteriophage lambda. The two main properties of the bacteriophage lambda genome make it one of the most competent used vector for cloning larger DNA fragments with a carrying capacity of 48,502 base pair of DNA. Two significant features of lambda genome are: first is, out of 50 or so gene, only 50% are indispensable for replication and lysis of host cell. Also, most of the unwanted genes in the genome are placed together next to the middle section of the genome. And the second is another important feature, that is, it is head-full mechanism of DNA packaging. There is both the upper and lower limit of the amount of DNA to be packaged inside the phage head. For efficient packaging, at least 53 kilo base pair to 35 kilo base pair should be available. There are two types of lambda cloning vectors. First is insertion type, constructed by deletion of unwanted region considering the lower and higher limits. Example, Caron vectors. Substitution replacement types, constructed by replacement or substitution of non-essential genes. These vectors have advantage above insertion vectors that packaging occurs only when a fragment of insert DNA gets cloned, as self-ligated lambda genome pieces does not meet to the lower limit of packaging like EMBL vectors and lambda get vectors. Next is bacterial artificial chromosome BAC vectors. Bacterial artificial chromosome or BAC vectors are based on the fertility factor, that is F factor, and developed in early 90s by Mel Simmons and co-workers. BACs plasmids are constructed for the cloning of very long DNA fragments, typically 1 lakh to 3 lakh base pairs. They carry origin of replication and specific marker like chloramphenicol resistant genes. For BAC to be used as cloning vehicle, the vector is linearized using restriction endonucleases treated with a phosphatase and then ligated with insert DNA fragments. After the recombinant DNA is produced, it is introduced in E. coli host cell. Other vector is yeast artificial chromosomes, YACs. In the year 1987, cloning of larger than 45 kb DNA fragments was achieved by the development of YACs by D.T. Burke and G.F. Card. The basis of YAC development was that linear eukaryotic chromosomes like commonly used yeast, Saccharomyces cerevisiae requires for its replication not only origin of replications but also centromere and telomeres. The centromeres are required for accurate segregation of chromosomes and the telomere helps in the safeguard of integrity of the end of these linear chromosomes. There are 3 yeast selectable marker genes present. First is TRAP1, URA1, SUB4. Example PYAC3, mammalian artificial chromosomes. Mammalian artificial chromosomes like BACs, YACs and PACs are being used for cloning of large DNA fragments, but another potential use of these can be made in the field of gene therapy. MACs can be used for the purpose of gene therapy. Efforts have been made to construct MACs wherein the human DNA fragments along with their replication and controlling machinery can be introduced into target cells. The stable maintenance and transfer to generation after generation are important features to be present in MACs. Let's talk about restriction enzymes. Restriction enzymes or molecular scissors are the nuclease enzymes that cut double-stranded DNA molecules at specific points. These enzymes are found naturally in a wide variety of prokaryotes. These are an important tool for manipulating DNA. The term was coined by Lederberg and Melsenson in 1964. Nobel Prize for Medicine and Physiology in 1978 was shared between Werner Arber, Hamilton Smith and Daniel Nathans for their discovery of restriction enzymes. Certain strains of bacteria use restriction enzymes as a defense against bacteriophages. The replication of the phage is prevented by restriction enzymes as they cleave its DNA at specific sites. The host DNA is protected from its own restriction enzymes by methyl transferase, which methylates adenine or cytosine bases within the recognition site of the restriction enzymes, thereby modifying the sites and protecting its own DNA. There are 3 different types of restriction enzyme. Type 1, which cuts random around 1000 base pair away from recognition sites. Example is ECO-K1, ECO-A1. Type 2, specific within the recognition site like ECO-R1, BAMH1. And type 3, 24 to 25 base pair away from recognition site it will cut, that is ECO-P1, etc. Target sites of restriction enzymes are 4 to 6 nucleotides and exhibits palindromic symmetry. A palindrome sequence is one in which the 5' to 3' base pair sequence is identical on both the strands. Restriction enzymes recognizes and make a cut within specific palindromic sequences known as DNA restriction sites. What could be the nature of the end cuts, that is cutted ends? Restriction fragments produced by restriction enzymes can be blunt ended or sticky ended. Both sticky ends and blunt ends can be used to join DNA fragments. Sticky ends are more cohesive compared to the blunt ends. Like isocysomer, restriction enzymes which are isolated from different organisms but their recognition sequence are identical are known as isocytomers. Like KPN1, like neoschizomers, restriction enzymes that have the same recognition sequence but cuts the DNA at the different sites are neoschizomers like SMA1, XMA1. Next is isochordamers. They are restriction enzymes that recognizes slightly different sequences but produces the same ends in an isochordamers. Example BAMH1. Restriction enzymes used in genetic engineering. In a gene cloning experiments, the vector and inserted DNA molecules have to be cut in a very specific and reproducible manner. Restriction enzymes may cut at specific recognition sites and therefore play a very significant function in cutting the insert DNA fragments as well as cleaving the vector. The desired gene or DNA fragment from chromosomal DNA has to be cleaved at exact position for further genetic manipulations experiments. What are the uses of restriction enzymes? Restriction enzymes are used in restriction fragment length polymorphism, that is RFLP analysis. Restriction enzymes are required to make DNA libraries. Restriction enzymes can be used in DNA sequencing and used in genome mapping. What are DNA ligases? While cutting DNA precisely, it is very important, but then the insert DNA fragment and the vector have to be joined together to construct a new molecule, which is called as recombinant molecule or recombinant DNA. The joining of the insert DNA fragment and vector is achieved by DNA ligase enzymes. Like restriction enzymes, which are known as molecular scissor, DNA ligases work as molecular sutures. DNA ligase forms a phosphodiester bond between 5' phosphoryl at the end of the one strand and the 3' hydroxyl of the adjacent strand. The most commonly used ligase is isolated from bacterial virus T4 phage. Given that the ligation reconstructs the site of cleavage, recombinant molecules produced by ligation of sticky end can be again cleaved at the joins using the same restriction enzyme that was used to create the fragments initially. Now, how we are going to introduce the recombinant DNA into the host cell? So, after the construction of the recombinant molecule in a gene cloning experiment, next important step is the introduction of this recombinant molecule into suitable host cells. There are several methods for introduction of recombinant molecule into host cells. Different methods are adopted depending upon the vector and host cells. So, first is transformation. Transformation involves the introduction of recombinant DNA molecule into living cells. Transformation leads to genetic alteration of cells resulting from the uptake and expression of recombinant DNA molecule. It was first demonstrated by Frederick Griffith in 1928. Transformation requires the cells to be competent, that is, the ability to uptake DNA from its surrounding environment. Some bacteria possesses genes which are involved bringing the DNA across the cell membrane. These bacteria are naturally competent to undergo transformation, but very few bacteria are known to be naturally competent. Transformation requires the cells to be competent, that is, the ability to uptake DNA from its surrounding environment. Some bacteria possesses genes which are involved bringing the DNA across the cell membrane. These bacteria are naturally competent to undergo transformation, but very few bacteria are known to be naturally competent. The bacteria which do not encode such genes are made artificially competent. Using laboratory methods, cells are made permeable to DNA. Factors like concentration of rDNA, temperature, host cell density affects the transformation efficiency. Mendel and Higa in 1970 demonstrated that by treating E. coli cells with chilled calcium chloride and giving a heat shock at 42 degrees centigrade, we can do this. What is electroporation? Electroporation uses an electrical impulse or pulse to introduce DNA into the competent cells. The brief electrical shock causes the cells temporary pores and makes the cells permeable to DNA. It is one of the most convenient and efficient methods of transformation, but cannot be applied to some plant systems. Other protocol or other method is transfection. Transfection is a method of introducing foreign DNA into eukaryotic host cells mediated through chemicals. In liposuction, liposomes are used for transfection. These are lamellar phase filled with water enclosed with membranous lipid bilayer. DNA encapsulated in liposome can be transferred into protoplast by direct fusion or endocytosis. It is a highly efficient method for transfection. The other protocol is microinjection, in which foreign DNA can be injected into the nucleus through a glass micropipette directly by intranuclear microinjection. The delivery of the DNA is very precise and the amount of DNA delivered per cell is also not limited. The other one is particle bombardment or biolistics. In this method, very high velocity microprojectiles are used to introduce genes. Golds or tungsten particles are coated with DNA and with the help of bullet are accelerated into the living target cells. This is effective, rapid, very precise method of DNA delivery. Since thousands of DNA coated particles are accelerated, multiple hits results in high efficiency. Let's talk about agrobacterium. Agrobacterium mediated gene transfer. Agrobacterium tumefaciens is the most common or important tool for genetic engineering in plants. This bacterium induces crown gall disease in dicotyledonous plants controlled by genetic information carried on a large plasmid known as Ti plasmid. A segment of this plasmid known as tDNA integrates into the genome of transformed cells. Therefore, the foreign gene can be transferred to plants with the T fragment of plasmids by infecting cultures, plants or root cells by modified Agrobacterium tumefaciens. How we are going to select the transformants or clones, which is very important. After transformation, the clones may contain the recombinant DNA, recircularized vector, or may not contain any vector. Clone containing the recombinant DNA have to be selected out from other spurious clones. To identify the clones containing the gene of interest, screening is carried out. Selection of clones carrying a gene of interest is done on the basis of marker genes or a reporter gene present on the vector used in the cloning process. So, for the direct selection of recombinants, all commonly used vectors carry selectable marker gene. A selectable marker gene like drug resistance or plaque formation permits only those clones which possesses it to survive under suitable conditions. The genes which confers resistance to antibiotic like ampicillin, tetracycline and kanamycin are excellent marker genes. After transformation, recombinants are plated on medium containing ampicillin. On such medium, only those recombinants will grow which possesses ampicillin resistant genes, but again it is not possible to separate the clones which contain either the recombinant DNA or religated plasmid vectors. So, after that we can talk about insertional selection or inactivation method. Reporter genes, the product produced by the reported gene can be assayed for a quick and easy selection of clones. Most commonly used reporter genes are Gus gene produced by beta glucuronidase, Lux gene, luciferase, GFP genes, green fluorescent protein. Few examples of reporter genes in identification of recombinant clones are insertional inactivation of antibiotic resistance gene, in this case PBR322, which has two selectable antibiotic resistant marker genes, that is ampicillin R and tetracycline R. These marker genes carry unique restriction sites. After insertion of a foreign DNA or gene in restriction sites of one of the marker genes leads to the inactivation of that antibiotic resistant marker gene. The recombinants therefore become susceptible to one of the antibiotics while non-recombinants are resistant to both. Insertional inactivation of LAGZ gene. Few vectors like PUC and M13 contain LAGZ gene, which codes for beta-galactosidases, an enzyme used by bacteria like E. coli to digest lactose. Also, when bacteria containing these genes are grown on X-gal, a synthetic analog of lactose medium, the beta-galactosidase enzyme digests X-gal and releases a blue compound. Hence, bacteria with a functional LAGZ gene will produce a blue color when grown in the presence of X-gal. But insertion of a foreign gene in these vectors causes inactivation of this gene, and therefore the recombinant clones produce white colonies as X-gal is not digested and non-recombinant forms blue colonies. Let's talk about its application. Gene cloning has a significant role in biological research and impacts several areas of everyday requirements. There are numerous applications of gene cloning. That is, gene cloning helps in the identification of genetic disorders like ADA, cystic fibrosis, Huntington's diseases, etc. Using therapeutic cloning, human cells can be produced to treat medical diseases or medical conditions. Gene cloning aids in adding new traits into animals for the production of recombinant proteins like clotting factor 9, growth hormone, insulin, and so on. Insect resistant, herbicide resistant, and environmental stress resistant like drought resistant plants can be produced by using molecular cloning. Example is BT cotton. Other is high yield and improved product of livestock and plants can be achieved. Example, flavor saver, tomato and golden rice. Production of recombinant vaccines for better vaccination. Gene cloning also finds its application in DNA fingerprinting and genetic screening. Gene cloning is also used in protection of endangered species. Using therapeutic cloning, human cells can be produced to treat medical conditions. Gene cloning helps in evolutionary analytical studies. Let's summarize this lecture. Cloning in recombinant technology refers to the production of clones or genetically identical organisms. Cloning vector is self-replicating small piece of DNA of plasmid, virus, yeast or cells of higher organism into which gene of interest can be cloned and expressed. The most commonly used cloning vectors are plasmid, bacteriophages, bacterial artificial chromosome BACs, yeast artificial chromosome YACs, mammalian artificial chromosome MAC. Plasmids are stably inherited, extra chromosomally, autonomously replicating, double-stranded and covalently linked circular DNA molecules. Restriction enzymes or molecular scissors are the nuclease enzymes that cut double-stranded DNA molecules at specific points. These enzymes are found naturally in a wide variety of prokaryotes. These are an important tool for manipulating DNA. Transformation involves the introduction of recombinant DNA into living cells. Transformation leads to genetic alteration of cells resulting from the uptake and expression of recombinant DNA. To identify the clones containing the gene of interest, screening is carried out. Selection of clones carrying gene of interest is done on the basis of marker genes and reporter genes present on the cloning vector. Thank you.